Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my very first YouTube video. I'll introduce myself. My name is Jude. So today I want to talk about self-love, which is such a big buzzword and everyone talks about self-love, but I feel like no one tells you how to actually love yourself, and that's what I want to do for you today. I think there's a lot of misconceptions that self-love is all like physical, like taking a bath, doing your makeup, getting a massage, which is part of it, but there's a lot of inner work that is super powerful and super impactful. So I'm gonna get right into it. So one of my favorite ways to create self-love for myself or increase self-love for myself is affirmations. Affirmations are super powerful. They're one of my favorite tools to rewire my subconscious brain and just change my beliefs about myself. So I love to do affirmations in the morning and at night, and specifically writing them down. There's something about how your brain just absorbs things better when you're writing physically, because your brain is reading something, writing it, and it's just a more immersive experience. So I find it works better if I'm writing. I can write down a few affirmations that I like, and then I just start with one that I feel connected to, emotionally connected to, and I write like a full page of that every single day in the morning, and I just kind of let it mold into what it's supposed to be. So for example, if I say I'm amazing, I can say I'm amazing, I'm amazing, I'm amazing. I'm like, and it naturally just kind of develops. So maybe it's like, oh, I have an amazing body, I have amazing arms, I have amazing personality, I have an amazing voice, my voice is mesmerizing, my personality is mesmerizing. Or it could be, I'm good enough, I'm worthy, I'm deserving, I deserve the world, I deserve all the abundance in the world. So you see how, like, the initial affirmation was I'm deserving, but it can turn into I'm deserving all of all the blessings of the universe, or whatever it is. But I find that your subconscious can be kind of finicky in the sense that different words and different ways that you phrase things will absorb into your subconscious differently. So sometimes you might have to change an affirmation a little bit, or change a word, or change the phrasing, until you find something that feels right for you. Because the way the affirmations work is they work based on your emotion. Like we are writing these things so that we can elicit a specific emotion within us. And obviously slowly, if you think a thought enough, it becomes a belief. So slowly repeating things, it becomes more and more realistic. But a super important aspect of affirmations is that you have to actually believe it a little bit, or you have to feel it. And if you say you have like a really, at one point, you know, everyone is starting out, maybe you have a really low sense of self-esteem or self-love, you can say possibly, like, oh, it's possible for me to be worthy and deserving, because that's a possibility. Or it's possible that I could be amazing. And then slowly, once that feels good, you can step it up a notch. But the most important thing is that you actually feel what you're writing down. So I do that in the morning and at night, because right when I wake up and right before I sleep, because that's the time that your subconscious is most alive, it's more awake, and it can really soak up everything that you're saying to it. Let's see, the next thing that I have is mirror work. So this is similar to affirmations, because you are saying affirmations in the mirror, and that's what it really is. It's called mirror work. So you can take any mirror and start talking positively to yourself, and specifically look into your eyes, because when you look, there's a saying, eyes are the window into your soul. So when you do that, it's just it like amplifies any single affirmation that you're saying. And Louise Hay always says this. Like, if you read her book, she always talks about mirror work. And you just go into a mirror, really look at yourself, look into your eyes, and start repeating whatever you want to manifest. In this case, like self-love, you can just repeat all these positive affirmations and talk really well to yourself, like into the mirror, every single day for 5 days, for like 5 minutes a day is like perfect. And that's just gonna help boost your like affirmations and boost all the words that you're saying into the mirror. So my third thing that I'm gonna say is I think it's amazing to do a weekly self-care routine, just because I feel like life gets so busy, so it's so hard to, especially as women, like we're constantly taking care of our families, our loved ones, our friends, our jobs. Like we have so much going on in our plate, and it's so easy for us to kind of put our own needs on a back burner, which is the opposite of self-love. Like, everyone deserves to everyone should put their own needs first. Like, that's the only way that you can actually give more to other people, to like support other people more, support your kids more, your husband, your friends, whatever it is if you fill up your own cup first, you prioritize your own needs and you give to yourself. And so I find that since life is so crazy, it's amazing to just schedule in like once a week, just like a self-care day where it's like, okay, I'm gonna treat myself. And even if you don't have a lot of money, which that's totally fine, it's like you can treat yourself in other ways, like doing like a face mask, or listening to music that you like, but just cultivating like a space and a time every single week where it's like, I'm gonna do something for myself, I'm gonna treat myself. And there's this book that I read where it says that for guests, we bring out the most amazing china, we treat them with love and respect, and we cook the best food, we decorate our house in the best way possible, use the best china, do all these things, pull out all the works, but for ourselves we don't do that, which is wrong. It's like, no, obviously for a guest I'm going to treat them well, but I'm going to treat myself better. We should be treating ourselves and cultivating a time and a space for ourselves where we are treated like queens and princesses, and we are like the most amazing guest in the world. And so she's like, in the book she was saying that, like, create a space where you are like the most important person and the most important guest you've ever had in your house, and do that once a week. Light candles for yourself, clean the room because you deserve to have a clean, nice room, and stay in a nice atmosphere. Put on your best perfume, and just like if you have kids or whatever it is, try to cultivate like 2 hours a week or whatever. Even if you don't have that much time, an hour a week just for yourself. And you don't have to do anything. You can just relax and read a book, paint your nails, do whatever you need to do, but just cultivate time for yourself to enjoy yourself and to treat yourself. And remember, you should be treating yourself like you are the most important guest at all times, if that's possible, but specifically at least once a week. The third thing is positive self-talk, which this is a little bit harder, I think, to do in the beginning, but just being conscious of the thoughts that you're thinking. There's this thing that Neville Goddard always says. It's called a mental diet. You can have a mental diet on anything. It could be on finances, on self-love, on whatever it is, anything that you're struggling with or you're trying to improve. So when you're on a mental diet, you're just cognizant, you're extra cognitive of the things that you're thinking. And specifically for us in this video, self-love and self-esteem and self-talk. Be extra cognitive and aware of what you're thinking, and if you say something that's bad, be like, oh, my bad, that's actually incorrect, and correct it in your head. If you're like made a mistake, you're like, oh my god, I'm so dumb, I would take a step back and realize, wow, I said I'm so dumb. That's not positive self-talk. Be like, actually, you know what, I did my best, like, I'm really trying, I did my best, and I pat myself on the back for even waking up and trying this, whatever it is. So removing that negative thoughts that you once had and replacing it with something else. And after a while, when you're doing this mental diet, it just becomes easier and easier to just be nicer to yourself and have positive self-talk. And positive self-talk is so important because that's what we're feeding our brains. So if you're feeding your brain trash and negative beliefs, that's what it's actually going to be thinking. So have a positive self-talk and mental diet. Number 4 is celebrate yourself. I feel like we are, especially in the self-help community, or if you're working on yourself, we're constantly looking at, okay, what do I need to improve? I improved on this, what's next? What's next? What's next? And there's always going to be a next, and I think that's healthy to have ambition, to have drive, to want to keep on improving, to improve yourself. And this is something I actually have to work on myself. But there's just times where it's like we need to lean back a little bit and just recognize, where am I at now? Wow, look how much I've accomplished. Look how much I grew. Look how much I have already cultivated an amazing relationship with myself. I've done this for myself. I've done this for myself. And so it's so easy to get lost in just like developing and continuing to be a better person. But just like every once in a while, remember, like, whoa, how did I actually improve? Like, what ways did I improve? And celebrate yourself. One thing I have been doing is sometimes I journal, like, what have I done so far? Or what are the things that I wanted in the past do I have now? just so I can reflect and be like, and be more present and lean back and be like, wow, like there's things that I have in my life right now that I wanted, but we're just such in a hustle culture, such a fast culture, and we're not staying present. It's really hard to be cognizant of that unless you're really mindful. So I would say, yeah, just celebrate yourself more. Even if when you do something like nice, or like I worked out, I'm like, wow, I'm proud of myself. I worked out today. That's a win. Celebrating your wins and really creating space and time for that. And I would say that if you want to be extra cognizant about that and extra diligent, every single month or every single quarter, be like, where have I improved? And just celebrate that. Where have I improved? And celebrate yourself. Let's see, I think this is the last thing, but it's just to be nicer on yourself. That's like something I struggled with, is just I used to be so hard on myself in the past, and now I'm like, you know what? It doesn't really help if you're mean to yourself. Like if you're failing and you're mean to yourself, it's just making it worse. You know, like if you like failed on a test, for example, it happens. You know, there's like it already sucks. Having extra harshness and being mean to yourself, it really doesn't make it any better, to be honest. There's no benefit of being harsh to yourself. And even if I did fail, and I have failed in the past, even if I did fail or I wasn't doing well, I'm like, you know what? That's okay. I did my best. I can move on. It just makes it so much easier and so much more peaceful and a smoother experience, and it just feels better. It feels better. Not to say that we shouldn't keep ourselves accountable, but it just feels better to be nicer to yourself. There's no benefit to being mean to yourself. So I'm gonna end on that note. I hope you guys enjoyed my tips. Let me know what you think, and yeah, bye.